live in the Arizona desert. It's rugged, it's harsh, and it is brutally hot. So what's our most precious resource? You guessed it, water. Now, as humans, it's pretty easy for us to find it, right? But what about the animals? So I hit the road today with Arizona Game and Fish to deliver water to our other most precious resource, our wildlife. And look, they're waiting. Arizona has over 3,000 holding tanks or catchments across the state to ensure wildlife can survive our harsh summers. Now, while most catchments are accessible by truck, it's still a challenge to get there. There are many catchments so remote, the only way of getting water to them is by helicopter. Either way, it's dangerous, time-consuming, and costly. So what if Arizona Game and Fish didn't have this water program? What would happen to all of the animals, the sheep, the deer, the eagles? Well, unfortunately, they and their babies would most likely die. Joe Curry has been with Arizona Game and Fish for over 23 years and is in charge of just 11 people for the entire state. Together, they make sure our wildlife has the water they need. He does it all with your help. No tax dollars are given to this guy. Joe, how often do you fill catchments?
Well, actually, Terry, they're designed to be self-sustaining if it rains like it's supposed to. But since we're in this drought and this is like the hottest, driest summer on record, we're having to haul water to them. And it just depends on the number of animals coming to them and the size of the animals. Elk drink a whole lot more water, so we're hauling to theirs a whole lot more often than this one that's designed for mule deer.
So how do you know if a catchment needs water and if it's working properly?
So we got several ways of monitoring the water levels. We've partnered with the county flood control agencies so we can look on some of them on our computers. And we also have wildlife managers and volunteers that also monitor them throughout the year.
What happens if you can't get there in time?
If we're not be able to get there on time, hopefully we have waters that are close enough that the animals can move. But if they don't move, they're going to end up dying from dehydration.
That must be awful to see.
It is awful, and we try our best to never have it happen.
What happens generally when you pull up to a catchment?
Well, typically there's usually nothing there except for a few small animals that live close by. But we first clean out anything we need to clean out, take a water measurement if there's water in the catchment, and then we dump our water into the system. So
July set a record. Hot, hot, and hotter, and records continue to be broken. So how can we not help our wildlife? But you may be asking, who's paying for it?
The funding comes from a couple different funding sources, but as you mentioned, Arizona Game and Fish doesn't receive any Arizona tax dollars. We're funded primarily through the sale of hunting and fishing licenses. So we really rely on those public dollars to help us support this mission and cause. Because a lot of these locations can be self-sustainable when it's raining. They can collect their own water, they can support themselves. So when we're not getting that rain, when we're not getting that weather and it's extremely hot and dry, it falls on us to make sure we deliver that water, that life-saving water to these animals to make sure they have the hydration they need to survive the hot, dry summer. So we really rely a lot on public donations to support our Send Water campaign. This is an expensive effort. It's a very manpower intensive effort, delivering water via land, in some cases via helicopter to very remote areas.
With 80% of our state in a drought and no rain in sight, the need for water has never been greater. Here's how you can help, and trust me, every drop counts.
Give wildlife a fighting chance. You can donate today. Just visit sendwater.org or text SendWater to 41444. Learn more, visit azwildlifehero.com.